Hi, this is Beth. I'd like to introduce you to some whiteboard features in Adobe 9.3. First of all, the drawing rights for participants, then a little review of some of the basic tools, and then I'd like to introduce an activity so that you can practice using these tools as well. So let's talk about the drawing rights. There's three ways to give participants drawing rights. One is as a host under the meeting tab, you have the ability to change preferences in the whiteboard and enable everyone to have drawing rights all the time. So that's one way. Second way is within a particular pod, you can, in this pod options button, choose enable participants to draw, and then all participants will be able to draw on that particular whiteboard, and you can turn that feature off at any time. You can also select a participant and enable that individual or multiple individuals to draw. So there's three ways to enable drawing rights for participants. Now let's look at the basic tools. You have this selection tool, and that gives you the capability to modify anything that's on the whiteboard. So if I double click on this symbol that I created, I can delete it by clicking the trash button or hitting your delete key. Underneath the selection tool are various pens. So if I click on the pens, if I click on that symbol, I see that I can change the color and the size of the pen, but I can also change the type of drawing apparatus, the marker, a highlighter, a pen, or a pencil. And then we talked about the deletion, the trash can. Here you have text, and so when I select text and I click on the whiteboard, I now can type, and I can change the color of in all kinds of different shades of what I'm typing. I can also change the size of my letters here as well. Underneath the text are various symbols that you can select, and again, when I select a symbol, I can change the border, and I can change the size, and I can change the fill of that particular symbol. And then there are a variety of symbols that you can select. A square, elliptical, you can select an arrow, and then various other symbols as well, including a cross. So if I select the rectangle, here I can create it on my whiteboard, and then if I want to change that, I'm going to have to click the select and then double click on my symbol, so then I can start to manipulate that. Now let's look at the activity that I'd like you to engage in. You can also move to multiple pages. So I'm going to go back to page 1 where I've set up this activity, because what I want you to do is to select the X symbol and a color, and then click and then place that X on the line by clicking and indicate your experience using web conferencing in your teaching. So at the bottom here, you would place your X down here if you're pretty new to using web conferencing in your teaching, and then all the way up to I use web conferencing quite frequently in my teaching. So you're going to find that X symbol by selecting the symbol options. Find the X, click on that, and then select your color, and then you'll kind of see what color you've selected by how it appears over here. So whatever color you want, and then place your X anywhere on the continuum that matches your experience level. So there you have it.